Welcome to one of the most beautiful rooftops of the city of Leuven. Welcome to another video learning of Kick Skills, aiming to boost your soft skills in a practical way. Groep D has allowed us to film in their main building, but we negotiated our way to the top. The rooftop. Did you know that we're all negotiators? We do it every day. And the good news is you can get better at it. I had a talk with Dr. Katalien Bolle, a visiting professor negotiation and mediation at KU Leuven.
Hi Katalien, thank you so much for making time for us.
You're welcome.
Let's start with the basic of questions. What is negotiation?
Negotiation is a process in which parties have discussions in order to come to an agreement. And actually an agreement that satisfies both.
Both parties. But don't they each want something different?
Yeah, of course, often. Yeah. So it's very important that you try to get to know the why. What is it exactly what they want and why is it that they want this or that? And next to that, I think it's also very important to know that often people think, when they think about negotiation, they think of this shark of a negotiator that really wants to get the most out of the situation, only thinks about own interests and own value, and tends to think about the other party as an opponent that needs to be distrusted. And actually that might work on the short term, and if you never ever meet the other person again. But if you really want to invest in a long-term relationship, and if you really want to maximize the value for everyone, then you should negotiate in a different way. Then you need a different mindset. A mindset that really tries to see the important issues for both parties, and that you also have the ability to be flexible and sometimes being competitive on some issues and being also collaborative on other issues. So it's very important that you combine those both aspects.
But what if there really is a conflict? Doesn't that make things a lot more difficult?
Yes, of course. And that's the reason why parties, also in business contexts, tend to use a third person, another person, a mediator that comes in and helps them to prepare the negotiation and also to guide the negotiation process itself.
Okay, you already spoke of coming to a good agreement for both parties, but what exactly is a good agreement?
A good agreement, as I said before, then it's important that both parties feel satisfied. They also are able to look each other in the eye. They don't feel any revenge, and actually might be willing to have another negotiation round about something else, about something, another topic. And in this regard, it's very important to make a distinction between two different types of negotiation. You have on the one hand positional negotiation, on the other hand you have principled negotiation. Positional negotiation refers to a process in which you make clear your position, your statement. I want this, I want that, I want that car, I want more money, I want to have a higher allowance, these kinds of things. So you're very clear on what you want, and it also refers often to a distributive situation. Like, I want this, so if I have this, you cannot have it. So it's a win-lose. I want it, so I win, you lose. On the other hand, you have another type of negotiation, and that's a principled negotiation. And in that case, you do not only look at the what, like what is it that you want, but you also look at the why. Why is it that you want this? And what you actually try to reach is a win-win situation. Both parties are able to find or to have a solution that satisfies them. So it's very important that there are two different types actually of negotiation.
Okay, if I understood correctly, we're talking about positional, when someone says, this is what I want, period. Whereas principled negotiating is when you say the why, of why you want something, and you also listen to the other person's why.
Exactly.
Okay, can you maybe give an example of both of these?
I will refer to an example that's often used in Harvard courses on negotiation. It's called the orange quarrel. It's about a quarrel that two sisters have about an orange. They both want an orange. And actually the next day, when none of them has used the orange, it seems that one actually needed the orange for the peel in order to make a cake, and the other sister needed the orange to have an orange juice. So actually they could both have what they wanted, but at the end, none of them had what he or she wanted. In this
Because
case,
they
she
didn't
wanted-
share the why.
Exactly.
I understand. And if they would, that would be principled negotiating.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Next question. With our e-learnings, we want to bring forward important skills to master in life. And thus my question is very simple. Why do you think that negotiating should be a skill to master in life?
Well, often people think negotiating is only a skill for politicians or business people. Well, it's not. Might be important also for them, but it's actually important for all of us, as we negotiate, all of us, every day, several times. We negotiate at home. For instance, we want to have extra allowance. As a student, for instance, you want to have another student accommodation, but more fancier, for instance, than the one that your parents have in mind. Or you want to start to eat vegetarian. That could also be something to negotiate about. Also with our partners, we can have negotiations about the car that you wanted to buy, for instance, or with little children about the bedtime. But we also negotiate often with our friends. For instance, are we going to see a movie? Are we going to have a nice dinner somewhere? Where should it be? If we decide on going on holidays together, where? And what is the amount of money that we will spend? Will we do some activities over there or not? So that's also negotiating. And last but not least, we also often negotiate at work. We negotiate about deadlines, or about specific roles we want to have, or tasks that we want to do or do not want to do. We negotiate also about money or extra possibilities about with flexible working hours, for instance, or working at home versus working online. So we often negotiate in different domains of our lives.
All right. Thank you, Katalin. Those were all my questions for now. I'm looking forward to being able to negotiate and have all parties agree. I would love to be able to do that.
We interrupt our program to bring you this important message.
Hi, I'm Michiel, after the Prime Minister and Kevin De Bruyne, the most important person in Belgium, and I'm here to share with you my genius insights on negotiation. The first rule, everything is negotiable. Hi, Mr. Baker, how much for 2 pistoletjes?
1.4 euro.
Alright, let's negotiate.
It's a fixed price.
He's trying to play it hard. Learn from the master. 3 euro.
Deal?
Ha! I win. You see, everyone can learn to negotiate.
Next up are some really fascinating insights about negotiation and the different steps in a negotiation process. I can already tell you that you're going to have to let go of certain cliches, such as playing hardball, going all in, or the take it or leave it approach.